Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So we're back at it with another video. Um, right now, uh, sorry I haven't been posting like videos. I've only been going live lately. It's just due because I'm getting my new weather center updated right now, getting remodeled, and I'm currently using the living room, as you guys can see in the background. But we're going to be looking at some warnings and pretty much some stuff. I know there ain't too much going on right now. So no watches in effect. I just want to give you guys a quick update. Really, we haven't seen no watches since 7:30 this morning, or 8. So we're just gonna look at some stuff. Just a quick updation because it is too late for me to post a an official video. So if we're going to be looking at some stuff like sea temperatures and all that, some small stuff. All right, so this is our cold front that was placed in right here. Going to be causing some rain for parts of it probably won't. Right now it's looking like if we do look at this, let's see, it's gonna cause a little rain, but really not much for North Carolina. Really is gonna break up in the middle of the East Coast and really go up to north and parts of Florida. So actually I want to take a look. Let's close that. I actually want to take a look up at the wind gust, or let's look at the let's turn this off. Let's look at the temperatures. Actually, I want to see. All right, so right now, as you guys can see, if you guys look, if I let's turn on my marker real fast, just real fast. Just a quick thing. Just want to pull the marker out. Alright, so if you guys see it, as this wind is pushing down like this, the reason why, you know, the wind's pushing down like this from Canada, that means it's cold air. And if you guys look for why is it so warm in these areas, well, that's because that warm water from Gulf of Mexico is pushing like this. So people from Gulf of Mexico, or people that live in this little wind that's blowing out of the let's see, if it's going this way, it is blowing out of the south. Yeah, south west, because this is north, south down here, east and west. So yeah, southwest it would be blowing, but really it would be, yeah, towards the northwest of Outer Banks and all that. So that's the reason why it's so warm up here, is because we're getting that warm air for the Gulf of Mexico. I just wanted to clear that up. The reason why it's so warm in like places like this, unlike up here, it is a little bit cooler from parts of the United States due to all that cold air, or I wouldn't even say cold air really, but all that it's cooler down here because of the wind that's blowing off the Carolinas. I meant um Canada. I don't know why I say Carolina. I was looking at North Carolina to see how warm it was. So we're talking about Virginia Beach 80, Charlotte 85, uh, South Carolina, Charleston 70, Atlanta 79, Jacksonville 80, Tampa 64, 84, Jackson, Mississippi 82, Alabama, scoot in there, 82, 84, Dalton 82. Going to Texas, Dallas 71, San Antonio 62. And I know we have some tornado watches up into the Oklahoma, Missouri, Texas. I know, and it didn't really stop around in Mississippi around this morning where the cold front was. So let's look at the live radar. So as you guys can see, like I said, this cold front really amped up up in the really up to the north. So I really think South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, maybe Virginia and North Carolina might get this end piece right here. If I could, I might get this end piece right here. Otherwise, I really don't see really severe weather for pretty much South Carolina and Georgia, uh, parts of Florida, and really it's over for Texas. Really, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be moving to the West Virginia area probably in the next hour or two. Um, so if you guys look, this storm's not really strengthening anymore. It's more of weakening, but due to because it's a smaller cold front. That's why this cold front is not too strong. If we do go back to the temperature, so if you guys look, cold front's right there. You see back here, it's still warm. It's because it's not a strong cold front. It was never a strong cold front to begin with. Really, Denver and all that. The reason why it's 66 in these places, it's just due to it's normally cold there. You got that little peak that goes off there, from Canada. That's where the coldest area. But as you guys see, this cold front was not too strong for some parts like Louisiana, parts of Texas. They got that cold front. Mississippi, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee. Those cold fronts were not strong for you guys. We're talking about 66 as of right now, and we're talking about 80 in Virginia Beach, which you guys in Washington D.C. you guys could drop down to about 75, and then around Sunday pick back up your temperatures. Like see right here, we zoom into right here. I bet you we're gonna see 75 degrees, 70. So like I said, it's gonna start warming back up in a couple of days for some parts of the United States. Really, it's just a small cold front. Produces some tornadoes, some big size hails. I was a little surprised about that when I seen that hail. I was like, "Oof, that's some strong hail." And we're gonna look at some more stuff. So let's look at the rain. Let's actually look at the 24-hour ones. I don't want to look at the one. Alright, so this is pretty much in the next 24 hours, or this was pretty much today, last 24 hours. So really you count this off and see what's up here. Really, you don't got too much to go up here. I think this will all be in the light greens, actually, and not too much to go. Although I do want to take a look at some models on Tropical Tidbits just to see where, because I haven't actually looked at Tropical Tidbits in a little bit, actually. It's been a minute since I've looked at it. All right, so there you go, guys. You got your cold front right there. This is the GFS, which is currently updating right now at 5:30. So that's part of this. Like I said, if you go back, part of this cold front is supposed to break off and stay on top of you guys, Texas. That's why you guys are gonna see some rain. And really just stay on top of it and then eventually moving on and going up into the north again. And then we're talking about another severe weather outbreak with another severe weather outbreak within May 5th. So on a Wednesday, so next Wednesday, possibly you don't want to go off this too much. It's just a good understanding of where the storm's going to be, where the storm's going to be located. Really don't want to go off this right here. It's just showing models. Models keep showing it like there's going to be a severe thunderstorm, and then talking about breaking off, and we got another severe weather, which I wouldn't go off this yet because this is 7th, and we're talking about May 7th. That's next Friday, so we're still a week. That's a week from now. I would believe the Wednesday one, and that's the first. I would believe. But we can keep on going. So that's pretty much But as you guys realize, the farther we get in the spring, the less snow you're realizing. Really, you're not seeing no snow besides in the Denver area. And really, once it passes that Denver area, it turns into rain and goes into Texas and causes severe weather. You might see a few right here, but this right here is not going to stick. It's not going to do nothing. It might snow for a few minutes, and it's not going to stick. It's going to melt because of the rain that's caused the pavement to be wet, and it's not going to come down hard enough. So if I want to look at the European for the jet stream to see what we're looking at the jet stream. All right, so this is April 26th, 27th. All right, so today is, I think, yeah, the 29th. So let's look at the 29th. All right, so this is May 6th around let's look at May 5th actually. I do want to look at 5th. All right, so the reason why you see these thunderstorms take a lower path to Texas always forming is because when the jet stream rides a low pattern, normally or you have like heights built in here. If you have here, I would like, let me get an example. Let me pull out my marker. All right, let's erase all that. Sweep it. All right, so your jet stream is right here currently. Let's just say that. All right, so say if you got highs built in right here, these circles are gonna represent highs, or like I'll put a high in the water like that. What this storm is gonna do is gonna be forced in this area where this shaded area is. It's gonna be forced into that area, and what it's gonna do? It's gonna cause a cold front to pretty much, which what normally causes hail is when that warm air is up there. It's so think about it. Cold air lowers, warm air rises. So when you see think about on 100-degree weather day, well think about it, it'll be 120 degrees up in the sky, or like 30 40 miles up in the sky. It'd be 120. So normally it is pretty much cold air lowers and hot air rises. That's always the key. That's something I've learned from people in the past. My dad, even watching the weather channel, they always say rises, or cold air lowers and the hot air rises. It doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees, because 100 degrees might be hot, but compared to that 130 degrees up in the sky, it's a lot cooler than even 98, 90, 87. It could be 98 degrees up in the sky. But if we go to the 7th, this is when this is our Friday, so this is next Friday. So exactly a week when a severe thunderstorm is supposed to be popping out. And right here, you guys can see that jet stream is taking a high ride into Canada and then sweeping back down going into Virginia and even into North Carolina and then going back out. So that's going to cause this storm to amp up right here and cause it to do this route. And then instead of it already even going up to north, really think about it. Your jet streams will control your storms. That's what controls everything. You didn't have jet streams, or say jet streams, wind, the Gulf, the jet stream, that would not steer anything. You would just have one piece of storm sitting right on top of you, and normally that's not a good thing. That would cause flooding, and you don't want to see the same weather pattern the rest of your life, like say severe thunder or like a hurricane. That's what sometimes is how hurricanes get steered. If you realize if it gets below the equator, like behind Brazil and all that, you realize the hurricane has more of a hard pattern to steer itself. That's what really that's what hurricanes are drawn to. They're drawn to pretty much low pressures. They have a sense of humor to avoid land sometimes, and that's just due to the jet stream. If you have a jet stream riding this low, that's why we do not see hurricanes. Because the water is too cold and will not support it, and B, the Atlantic Ocean is quite dry right now. That's why we're not seeing. That's why you don't see hurricanes really rarely in April, May. You can. It has happened plenty of times. I've even seen in March, low as March. Um, but if you have a jet stream riding like this, the two scenarios is it would not make landfall for the East Coast right here. Not a doubt. It would either A, go into the Gulf of Mexico, or B, go out to sea like that because the jet stream pushes hurricanes away. That's why if you see I'm trying to think of I think Joaquin, that was a 2015 storm. Uh, I believe I have to check because I know that was a 2015. I'm not 100% sure of that storm. I'm trying to think of some storms um that pretty much roll off but didn't make landfall, but they were named. I really don't track those storms, so that's why I don't know any. But for a good instance, Laura last year, the one that hit uh Lake Charles and all that, the jet stream was so low during that time, and that's what I think if I'm right, the jet stream was taking like a path like this, and it caused it to push in the Gulf of Mexico, make landfall in Lake Charles, and go like that, and cause some rain. So big rains for up in the north. That's why you never see the north never get contact direct landfall on a hurricane. That is due to because pretty much that's due to because the jet stream is right on top of the north. So normally you either see like Isabel, it took a track like this, or more on like this. The eye wall made landfall, and if you realize in the Outer Banks, if you look in the Outer Banks, there's this one little strip missing. That is due to Isabel, the eye wall coming right on top of that and making the land disappear. So that's the reason why we never see contact in pretty much the north because the jet stream does ride up in the north usually. That's why we never seen like a category 2 or 3 or even 1 make landfall in the north. I'm not saying it's possible, not possible, but it's rare. I don't even think it's ever happened in history. It might have, if I'm mistaken. But normally your hurricanes, I would say no later than after Virginia. If it would not make landfall no after Virginia. Maryland's kind of pushing it a little bit, but if you look right here, the main common spots for a hurricane to make landfall, I'm gonna say Outer Banks. Right here, this little piece that sticks out between. So I'll mark. Let me get my pen, and I'll mark off. Let's erase that sweep, and I'm actually gonna mark off. Let's turn this into a purple color. And I'm going to mark off to what's the most common spots to get hit. Alright, so these are the most common spots to get hit. So everything that's, I would not count this Chesapeake Bay in here because now the good instance is the 1933 Chesapeake Bay hurricane. That's a good instance that came up in the Chesapeake Bay and made landfall in Norfolk, Virginia. And it caused some devastating. I know in Ocean View, it caused some devastations to homes. It destroyed some stuff. So it is possible to make a hurricane. That was a Cat 3 too, and yeah. And then our next spot is between here. Now I'm not saying the spots I'm marking are not possible, but it happens once so often. Georgia, right in this area, it's kind of common for a hurricane to make landfall right in this area. The Key West, if they because normally when hurricanes do take this track, like say Hurricane ICS, it actually met the islands right here, took a track like this, and went like that. Took a track like that. And I'm not saying it's possible, but it's really common for these spots to get hit. And then we're talking about along anywhere from here all the way to here are common to get hit. Really, I would not put in here. It is possible. I have seen Tampa get hit by even. All right, so I'm gonna mark these in red. The spots that could happen. These are possible scenarios. That it can happen is not impossible. And you look in here, it has happened in these areas right here. Right here. If you look, it has happened in those areas before. I forgot the one storm that came up affected the Key West into Florida. It was a cat 3, maybe 4, if I'm mistaken. Um, and now I'm gonna mark the ones that are in green that rarely get hit, and it's almost hard for it to make landfall in these areas. So right in here, uh, up into the north, and even Florida. Name the last time Jacksonville did get hit by an eye wall. I'll talk about an eye wall for all these places. I'm not talking about. Yes, you guys are gonna get some bands off this. I'm talking about an eye wall that has made contact with these areas in the last probably 150 years. And eye wall has been really common in these spots that are marked in purple, and the ones with red, it happens every so often. It's happened before, but it happens so often. Hurricane Irma, um, the hurricane back in 2005 that closed down the New Orleans Six Flags. If I'm right, I know so many hurricanes. It's like there's so many. There's so many I know. They're so hard to keep track of. Um, so that's why I just want to talk about that. You know, I'm talking a little bit about hurricane season because we are beginning again in June. We're actually only a month away, just about a month away from hurricane season. So really, you're going to start to see some of these start forming right in this area. That's where we normally start to see our first hurricanes pop up, and then maybe July 1st, 2nd, you start to see it coming off the African coast into the Atlantic. Really, our first spots are in the Gulf of Mexico, which we start off with a tropical depression, then a tropical storm, Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, Cat 4. Excuse me. So, I do want to look at the sea temperatures right now to see uh, what it's looking like because all right, so we'll look. There's your Gulf Stream right there. The reason why, if you call this a Gulf Stream, this is the reason why it's named a Gulf Stream. If you look at this, we got warm air. This warm water goes up like that, and you realize it's cut stream. As soon as that Gulf Stream behind this Gulf Stream, it's all cold air or cold water, and that's just due to because all that warm water gets trapped up and sucked up into this and goes like that. And like I said, it is really if we look 82 degrees, 76. I wouldn't go off these are not probably accurate. I would say the Gulf of Mexico is between 70 degrees all the way to 80, 82 degrees between there. And then we're talking about the Bahamas, Cuba. I would go between 79, between 79 and 89. Between there, this is good rough. I wouldn't go off to like the pinpoints of it, like right here, instance 81. It's accurate probably, but I would just do an estimate. And then we're talking about, let's zoom into some parts. All right, so we're talking about the coast of Savannah, 71 degrees. Let's check the Chesapeake Bay, 58. So it is pretty warm. We're beginning to have those warm days now, where that sun is beginning to hit its peak. It's just something about it's how nature works. No matter what, the sun could do. Like I said, me and my dad always talk about this during the fall time. The it could be warm during the fall. It could be warm, or no, it could be the coldest in fall. It could be like 20 degrees, and the leaves will still change colors. That's due to because the sun. It all matters, and that's another thing that plays a big part of the hurricanes. That's what feeds the hurricanes too, is the sun angles. If you look, pretty much during the winter we don't see hurricanes because the water's too cold, the air's too dry, and the sun's at a lower angle than pretty much than rather summer. Summer, it's the reason why we see a lot of hurricanes in summer is because moist air. The jet stream rides a high into Canada. not too low. Moist air, if I already said that. The sun is at a higher angletude. And then pretty much the water's warmer, and we have warmer temperatures. So I just want to say that real fast. So if we look, actually see, like I'm gonna say, let's go to the dry air. I know, Wendy has it actually. Wendy.com. If you go to humidity, which I'm about to go to, if you go to humidity already, so let's go to humidity. Humidity. All right, so this orange represents dry air, or like, yeah, pretty much dry air, and this all this blue, dark blue, solid blue represents moist air. So you guys can see Virginia, dry air, but it's warm right now, so you guys are not going to see your breath. But if it's cool in the back of the United States, which I don't think no one's gonna see their breath right now, just because it's too warm. But you can see the reason why we don't see no hurricanes pop off here is because the air is too dry and too thick for the hurricanes to form at this time. Yes, this is all moist right here, but it all matters if this is all it can't form off of dry air. That's why it's kind of hard to see if hurricanes form off. If this was all moist all year around, you have hurricanes popping up left and right, and the water was warm and the sun sat at a higher angle. You have hurricanes popping up left and right, and you would never get a break from them. Like over here, look at this one. Our hurricanes pop over here, like that one over there. That was about a week ago. It's moist over here, and that's why we got hurricanes that pop all over here. And right now, it's just too much of a wet climate or dry climate right now for these hurricanes to be popping off the African coast. Same thing in the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico, I would say it's moist. Obviously, in the water, air is going to be more moist. But I would say the reason why hurricanes do not form is because the sun angle, and it is a little chilly for hurricanes to be. But say if, this was all moist right here, and this water stayed warm all year round, you guys could see a bunch of hurricanes, and that sun was at a higher angle. You guys could see more hurricanes popping out all year. It might not make landfall because hurricanes love to avoid the dry air. They just sense them. It's kind of like say if a cold front, like this is instance, a cold front's right here right now. That's a good example. Say if a cold front was right here. Sometimes hurricanes can sense those cold fronts and bounce off those and cause them to go out. See, I've seen it so many times. The National Hurricane Center's hyped up hurricanes. I know some small people, some weather people have hyped up hurricanes in the past, saying, and then we watched this small little cold front come in and sit and cause storms to bounce off. Or sometimes if there's a say if there's a high sitting right in this pressure right here, we got a cold front. What this hurricane A is going to do is going to say it's taking this route. Say if it's taking the Cuba area and the hurricanes, and we have a. All right, so let me do my marker because this might be a little bit easier if I do the marker. All right, so we got a high right here. We got a cold front right here. And the hurricane's taking this track. What this hurricane is going to do is going to try to squeeze in here. It's not going to make landfall because this cold front is too close. So what it's going to do is going to squeeze in there. Or it's going to avoid all that and make a more southern path like that in between this area, which is going to go off of Mexico. Sometimes I've seen that happen so many times. It's unbelievable. Even during the summer, you guys get cold fronts all the time. But the cold fronts are not as strong as compared to winter. These cold fronts are mildly like change the difference of a degree or two. It's not really strong. The more you get into summer, the less it's going to be. Or more days you get close to summer, the less is going to be, and the weaker. Every cold front gets weaker, and you start to see temperatures rise slowly, like you've been seeing lately. Just about a month and a half ago, we're seeing Texas in the negative digits, 32 degrees, 20, 19 degrees, and now look at them. They're up in the almost in the 90s as a high, and like a 70 for a low. So, as cold fronts get weaker as they go on. So, guys, that's gonna be a wrap of the video today. I'm sorry I haven't been posting a real video. I know I've been live lately. Like I said, I'm getting my studio updated as of right now. I'm trying to process buying it. Some stuff's getting shipped over. Buying new desk. Just updating everything. That's why you guys see the background. And hopefully you guys enjoy this video. If you guys can, I consider liking and subscribing and turn on post notifications so you guys are the first one to see my video. Until next time,